What is up, you guys? As of Tuesday next week, September 19th, it will be my 2 years being Adderall free. If you want to hear more about my background and my story, please check out my other videos. I'll probably attach it somewhere here in the description or create a playlist for you guys, just so you have more context, because I'm not going to get into everything as to like how I got into it, but I'll just touch on a few things. I started taking Adderall when I was 19 years old, freshman year of college. I thought it was one of those things that I could just help me within the 4 years I was in college, and then I could just quit. I'm not under the influence of something every day, and I could really show up as I am. The last time that I could vividly remember myself feeling that way was right before I decided to take Adderall. So I feel as if I'm picking up from where I left off in high school when I was last sober or fully off the stimulants, if that makes sense. Have y'all seen the movie Click? He like gets this remote, Adam Sandler, and he starts skipping through his life. Spoiler alert, he ends up getting a chance to start his life back from where he left off with the remote. If you know what I'm talking about, that's how I feel like. I feel like I skipped through like my early 20s because I was on Adderall, and now that I'm like finally slowing the fuck down, I'm mentally back where I was when I was in high school, but that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. I feel like I'm the most creative I've ever been. Another big thing, you guys, I'm a lot more emotional than I thought. Being on Adderall all those years, it really prevented me from being my true self because chemically, like, it changes everything. So I wasn't able to really show emotion all the time. Now that that's gone, I finally realize and embrace that I am a really intuitive and emotional person, and it's not a bad thing, it's actually a superpower. I'm extremely empathic. I've been able to really do deeper shadow work, heal fully by digging into my past, seeking a therapist. I've been able to attract the most genuine people in my life who I could trust, people that have helped me on my healing journey. Near the end stages of me fully quitting, I was single for most of my life, but I really wanted to attract a partner or a soulmate, and I knew intuitively that I couldn't attract that person if I was going to be on the substance. Like, I just felt my higher self telling me, like, Janelle, if you want to meet your person and you want them to show up 100% authentically themselves, you need to be 100% authentically yourself. Those were the little things that I would hear and tell myself to really get me to that next level. Like, I found someone really awesome in my life, you know? So, because I can honestly say this has been, you know, one of the most rewarding things that I've done was just getting myself out of that place. I'm sure like one person can relate. If you feel a calling to get off the medication, we always have the answer. You know, we always ask people around us, like our loved ones, for validation or advice and guidance. And of course, we should be able to, you know, look to those loved ones. However, at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you. That involves silencing all the voices, tuning into your body. If you're spiritual, religious, tuning into a higher power, higher frequencies, whatever it is you need to channel in order to listen to what's inside is the answer. Hypothetically speaking, if you have your mom or your boss or your doctor even telling you to stay on the medication, right? Because they are projecting their own life experiences. People are always gonna tell you what they think is best based on their worldview and their experiences, which has nothing to do with your experience. If I stayed, I don't want to say weak-minded, but if I hadn't listened to myself, you guys, I would still be at that place, that really low place, just contemplating to get out, and it's like a continuous cycle. I'm not there anymore. The most important thing to be able to really make that step and get there is to create an environment of safety, and safety within yourself mentally. And for me to do that, again, I don't know how that looks like for you, but what I did in order to make that happen, unintentionally, I got let go of my job, which allowed me to move back with my parents. So that took off the financial stressor, because if I was still living in Los Angeles by myself, providing for myself 100%, that doesn't really create a safe space for me to quit, because I'm going to be going through withdrawals while trying to keep my salaried job and in sales at that. So that's just not conducive for my journey to sobriety, honestly. It took a lot of humility for me, you know. I literally had to move back to Dallas from Los Angeles. However, this is like where I was supposed to be the whole time, or at least in this season of my life. Like, I'm so much more happier here in Dallas than I ever was in LA. And that's where I just had to trust in God's plan, the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's all happening for you. I truly believe that. I touched a lot of this stuff in my other video, so I'm not gonna go into that too much. You really have to cut out anything that will deter you from reaching your goals or quitting. I cut out pretty much all my friends, not even because they did anything bad in my life. Like, this is just something that I had to do. But moving back to Dallas, the friends that I had were friends that I had in college. You know, when I was at my prime abuse of the substance and partying with them. And even though we've all kind of grown from that, it's like, it's hard for me to hang out with people that remind me of a lesser version of myself. I still have so much love for them. I wish them well, but it's not even anything personal. It's just the fact that I need to be surrounding myself with people who allow me to be a new person. And it's just kind of easier when you have people who don't really know that side of you. I'm currently in this phase where I'm looking for new friends. So I'm really excited and thankful to the universe in advance, because I could just feel that amazing, good-hearted people are on their way to me, and I'm just being patient and living life as if they're already here. But creating that safe space involves the people you surround yourself with. That's important. Like, looking back, it's insane how this affects everything, because not only did I attract people in my life who were at a different frequency, or at the time I matched their frequency, right? When I was more lower vibrational when I was on the Adderall, and that affected everything, because I ended up attracting jobs that I would not do to this day. Like, they just don't naturally align with who I am. I was working in a sales job, and I was like, if I could barely do this job on Adderall, how the fuck am I gonna do any job not on Adderall? It was scary, you know. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was blocking my own blessings, because now that I know who I am and what I'm capable of, especially in the workplace, I know what I like and I know what I could do well naturally. And I'm in a better, healthier, and more creative field now, where work doesn't even feel like work. I'm sorry, I'm using all these movie analogies, but I think it's The Wolf of Wall Street, how, what the fuck is the guy's name? Leonardo or whatever, how their whole work environment, they're all like doing coke and selling, you know, in Wall Street. Like, that was the vibe for me. I was like in LA, you know, busting an Adderall in the morning, a Red Bull at 7. Like, I was selling my ass off, hustling for what? Like, just to pay my bills and stay in LA when I really didn't even like what was really going on. Like, I'm a lot more happy now being sober, being close to my family, creating content and helping others. I'm not intentionally trying to sell anything now. I'm just speaking and sharing my experience and trying to help people find solutions. So I find this more rewarding, and I literally wake up now at 5 a.m. When I wake up in the morning, you guys, like, I wake up and I'm fueled by my energy. Like, it's crazy. I never thought I would say that, because energy was scarce for me. Like, I rely on the Adderall to give me energy, and that it was just wrong on so many levels. So now, like, everything is just so much more authentic and true, and I just feel like I'm living in my truth, and this is awesome. And everyone, I pray that everyone gets to experience this. There's a brighter side, that's all I'm saying. I find myself crying a lot because I feel like parts of me are dying. I was talking to my boyfriend about this last night, but because of my whole journey the past 7, honestly 9 years, there's been a lot of change in my life. And I feel like the first big change that was a catalyst of everything and me taking the drug in the first place was when I, you know, chose to go to traditional 4-year university. I was just trying to conform and make my parents happy. College basically was the start of change for me. Started to have a really negative connotation. Fear and change were deeply associated with each other when I was taking Adderall. And now change is actually becoming good because I'm off of it. Now I'm really owning that every change, every new thing that happens in my life is for my good. With that, it's like a piece of me, because I'm changing all the time, as we all are. It's like I see that older version of myself, I see her dying every day. Since that's a part of me, I felt so attached to her, because that was the version of me that protected me throughout all those years. And another way to explain it, like this blondness that I have from college, I want to have long, natural, healthy hair. That's what I'm doing. I'm in the process of growing it out, but I can't seem to let go of this part just yet. I still have so much of an attachment to this hair, even though I know it's not fucking healthy and I would feel so much better without it. It's just taking me some time. But create and establish a fail-safe morning and night routine that you can fall back on when you're not on the medication. I just like let everything go, you know, like I stopped doing all the things I loved. For one, I gained around 50 pounds, you guys. And that, I don't want to say that to scare anyone. Gaining the weight, it wasn't necessarily because of the Adderall. It was the fact that once I quit the Adderall, you know, I was getting a lot of that artificial dopamine and serotonin from the substance. When I went through this process, you know, I'm living with my parents, I'm on this healing journey, I'm not dating, so I'm fully celibate. I'm not getting any joy from anything. Like, I'm literally in a state of depression. So the only thing that really gave me any sort of happiness at the time was eating. I'm literally 2 years later dealing with the repercussions of that. I still love my body so much. I'm like, this body, this person, I'm a badass for even getting to this point, and I love myself for that. However, because I love myself and I love the version of myself that isn't physically being held back by excess weight, because I'm a dancer and I love running and I love doing all these things. Of course I could do all these things with my body now. The best version of myself is someone who's not being physically held back by how they feel internally and externally. So I am on a weight loss journey or on a health journey. I wish I didn't use food as a means of coping or as a substitute of where I got my happiness. I wish I was able to transfer that energy of like where I found my dopamine into something healthier. Like, I wish I documented more of my journey. Now looking back, it's easy to be like, oh, I wish I was like lifting weights instead of eating. But honestly, like when you're in that, it's really hard to even get out of bed. So we did our best. But if there's any way to not use food or anything unhealthy as a coping mechanism, please avoid that, because it's like, that's why this whole thing is such a slippery fucking slope, because I'm undoing so many things. If possible, like have something, you know, when you're feeling down, you could do maybe playing video games. I think that could have been something a little healthier, like get a Nintendo Switch, I don't know, pick up a hobby, knitting, something, play Sims, like instead of just like eating until I felt better, because that's just, yeah, it fucked me up. But you know, we still love ourselves and we're still pushing. So other than that though, 2 years Adderall free, this is how life is supposed to feel. Like if you're going through it, I wish I could pull your consciousness and pop it into mine so you could just feel how amazing it is to be on the other side. And I probably don't even have to do that, because I feel like you intuitively know that is what you're meant to experience. So the biggest thing is just listen to yourself and trust yourself, because your answer is right there. It's within you and you have it and you got it. So thank you so much guys for watching, and I love you so much, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!